of.
It has been a bad birthday. That looks like a turtle. And that looks like a man.
I see you back there.
It is a man! Hey, are you okay over there? I can smell you. Oh, it is a good birthday after all. I got my wish.
A new master.
Like a dog.
And that was the happiest day of my life.
Hey, I like dogs.
We have your dog.
What would you do if a date asked you how much you weigh?
Leave. Slap him. Cuss him.
It was going so well until...
Ask him how much his mama weighs.
Oh, we talking about weight, huh? Well, how much your mama weigh?
All new Family Feud.
You ain't got to worry about how much I weigh. You won't be feeling nothing over here.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at noon for Monday, March 17, 2025. I'm Ramon Gordon. Thank you so much for joining us. Now to the headlines. An electrical fire tore through sections of the Ocho Rios Market in St. Anne on Sunday, destroying millions of dollars worth of produce. While there have been no reports of injury, St. Anne's Bay Mayor Michael Belnavis called the incident heart-rending.
What we're looking at today is really devastating. I mean, we're seeing several, if you look just behind me, you see where onions, grown produce, grapes that was there, people selling clothes. I mean, everywhere. And this is the worst. I've been doing the mayor for St. Anne for well over 8 years now. And this is the worst I've seen it ever. This is a total devastation on one section of the Ocho Rios Market, total devastation. So what it means now is that we're going to have to figure out it's right now how we're going to clean up, and investigations is going to have to be done firstly. Then afterwards we're going to have to go into a cleanup and then some sort of rehabilitation and some assistance necessary to the vendors who may have lost everything.
And the government is making moves to boost efficiency and economic growth with 2 new cabinet appointments. Former Jamaican ambassador to the U.S., Audrey Marks, and tourism strategist Delano Seawright were sworn in this morning at King's House. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator the Honorable Ambassador Dr. Audrey Marks, will focus on cutting government bureaucracy.
Whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in housing, every Jamaican must feel the benefit of tourism.
That was on State Minister of Tourism Delano Seawright, who was tasked with strengthening tourism's impact on the wider economy.
The news that 4 people have died over the weekend.
And 4 people died on the nation's roads at the weekend, raising alarm at the National Road Safety Council NRSC. Vice Chairman Dr. Lucien Jones is calling for urgent sweeping changes to curb the fatal crashes.
The news that 4 people have died over the weekend so far from the police report is very disturbing. So far, 77 persons have died on the nation's roads, an 18% drop compared to last year, but far too many. So this weekend, so far, 3 persons have died on motorcycles, including a foreigner, and 1 pedestrian, which was a child. We are not doing well in road safety, and not as well as what is happening with homicides. There has been a welcome drop in the number of people murdered in this country, 30%. we're looking to below 800 for the year. We need to have the same kind of concerted effort in road safety to ensure that we have below 300 this year. We have to focus on pedestrians and motorcyclists. So far for this year, 21 motorcyclists have died, a significant drop from last year, but we're too many.
With a growing focus on mental health, the demand for professionals is rising. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie is commending recent psychiatric nursing graduates for their dedication, calling their service critical to meeting the nation's needs. He was speaking recently at a valedictory service.
Looking at the ladies and gentlemen who have offered themselves to become stewards of this new dispensation, it is more than commendable. So it shows the kind of commitment, not just by speaking about being committed, but demonstrating that willingness to dirty your hands, to mix and mingle, and to offer the kind of service that is required in the country.
Patients at Savlamar Hospital can expect faster diagnostics and improved workflow with a new remote-controlled digital X-ray machine and an over $58 million generator handed over by the Health Ministry on Friday. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton told CVM News the upgrades are part of broader plans to expand the hospital.
In the not-too-distant future, we'll be unveiling the new development plan for South Hospital, which includes expansion of the building space.
Amen.
So build new A&E, more doctors' quarters, conversion of the old A&E into more ward space. As I said in the presentation, we have done well since 2016 to 2024 in terms of more doctors. We have moved from 34 doctors to 99, more nurses from 150 odd to 180 plus, more ambulances from 3 to 6, and we could go on. Having said that, the demands on the system remains high, and so you do still have a lot of pain points, which is why we have to expand the capacity. So,
political commentator Shalman Scott says Julian Robinson, the opposition spokesperson on finance, has the makings of a future Prime Minister. Scott was speaking on CVM's lead story while assessing Robinson's budget contribution.
I have seen him also as a Prime Minister rating as well. And I have no apology to single him out as one of our younger politicians who have brought integrity to the office and responsibilities that Julian has embraced and carried. And I don't know him personally very well, but I have watched him via those elements that are available to provide us with information and impressions and to form opinions. And Julian Robinson cannot be described as one of the lazy talkers.
Meanwhile, immediate past president of the MSME Alliance, Donovan Wignall, is uncertain about the effectiveness of the PNP's plans to boost competition in the banking sector by expanding government deposits.
On the substantive point of spreading the government's deposits or the people's deposits within those banks across the banking sector and using that as leverage to have the banks come to the table to negotiate. Probably such strategy probably can work, but I think outside of the whole thing of moral suasion to have the banks act differently, to have any kind of behavior modification from the bank, I think it is a place where we could negotiate to give up something, which in this case the bank is asking for a reduction in the corporate tax, which I think is about $6 billion, as against the fees and interest rates, which is about $40 billion. I mean, you know, and that's just one bank.
Yeah.
So I don't know how strong that will make the government's hand in influencing the banks to do anything differently. But I mean, it's a start.
Yeah.
It is something that we need to fix.
Yeah.
As far as the transmission system is concerned in the banking sector. But being in a free market is gonna be an uphill battle to get them to act any differently.
Morant Bay Division Councillor Rosemary Shaw has dismissed claims of partisan bias in her work. Speaking at last week's St. Thomas Municipal meeting, she refuted what she described as misleading remarks about her approach to serving citizens.
Councillor of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, Morant Bay Division. You don't have no PNP on it. Right? So when I start to see partisan politics coming to this council, then I will have to react. I will have to behave in this council like a true PLP politician, right? If I am elected on the PLP ticket, but I represent all of Morant Bay Division and I want to behave in that manner, right? I have never, ever practiced partisan politics in my over 30 years of public service in this parish. So I want it to remain this way. I don't want no partisan politics to come into this council. Because what took place the other day, I have to ask if the CEO is the 11th council, because she was there. Cut out the foolishness.
Moving right along to international news, more than 200 Venezuelans have been deported from the U.S. to a super maximum security prison in El Salvador, even as a U.S. judge blocked the removals. More from the BBC.
More than 200 Venezuelan migrants suspected of being gang members have been deported from the US to a supermax prison in El Salvador. A US federal judge has now ruled that similar deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, which dates back to the 18th century, should be blocked. But according to the White House, the removal from the US had already taken place before that ruling. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke about the move on Sunday in an interview with our US news partners CBS.
We want to get rid of Tren de Aragua gang members. They're terrorists too. The president designated them, asked me to designate, and I did, as a terrorist organization. We want to get rid of them as well. We don't want terrorists in America. I don't know how hard that is to understand. We don't want people in our country that are going to be committing crimes and undermining our national security or the public safety. It's that simple.
Marco Rubio there. Let's speak now to Jorge Perez from BBC Mundo. Good to see you. What do we know about who these migrants or gang members, depending on who you're talking to, who they actually are, Jorge?
Well, these are migrants that have been accused by the authorities in the United States of allegedly being members of the Tren de Aragua. It's a Venezuelan gang organization that was formed in an iconic prison in Venezuela. Then these bands started to spread across the region following many of the flows of Venezuelan migrants. Venezuelan migrants are actually the main target of this organization. Some of them reached the United States and managed to get into the country. And now the U.S. government is not only considering this organization a terrorist organization, but it's also targeting some of its members, deporting them to El Salvador after an agreement they reached with that government.
Stay with us. More news after this.
Income tax returns. Self-employed individuals are required to file their annual returns SO4 and estimated return SO4A with income tax, education tax, NHT and NIS due and payable on one return. Companies are required to file the ITO2, which is the annual return, and the estimated return ITO7. Visit jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
Excuse me, that looks delicious. Where did you get that pizza?
Pizza Please, best pizza in town.
Pizza Please, the widest variety of pizzas in Jamaica. Grab a slice or order a whole pie. Find us at 4 locations across Kingston and Ocho Rios and at pizzapleaseja.com. Pizza Please, Italian pizzas, Jamaican flavors. In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
CVM TV and live Jamaica Premier League action on a Monday night. A match made in heaven. We call it Monday Match Night. Catch all the hard-pounding JPL Monday night action from now until the end of the season on CVM TV's Monday Match Night. Matchday Mondays at 7:4 to 5 p.m. with rebroadcast Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Nothing else can quite match up. Monday Match Night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
People, we now waste no time.
I am super excited to be on for another season to show you the Holy Road.
Listen, new adventures. Slim, get fluffy. That's cool, let's go. We're not going out, you know. Things are only getting hotter and hotter this season.
Click, pow, that must tell you something.
There's a great story happening just in our backyard. We are on the Holy Road again.
The Time is brought to you by Ford Territory.
Welcome back. It's time for sports, and we tee off with golf. President of the Jamaica Golf Association, Jordy Munborough, claimed victory in the first ever Trinidad and Tobago Ladies Golf Open on Sunday, edging out fellow Jamaican Matea Issa at the Plantations Golf Club in Tobago. Munborough finished with a three-day gross total of 234, 3 strokes ahead of Issa at 237. It's the first time in the 117-year history of the TNT Open that a ladies division was included. Still on golf, the 2025 is a milestone year for the Jamaica Golf Association as it commemorates a century of excellence and a dedication to the sport. To celebrate the occasion, JGA's first female president, Jody Munborough, joined the Sunrise to discuss the association's latest developments and future initiatives.
Munborough has been playing golf and representing Jamaica nearly her whole life. So who better to ask? How has the game evolved in Jamaica over the years?
Well, to tell you the truth, I have noticed a decline from when I was a junior golfer till now. There is definitely a decline, but I think that is also due to the fact that there are less golf courses now than they were then. And of course, economies of scale. As you know, things in Jamaica are not how they used to be many, many years ago. So the disposable income has shrunk somewhat overall. So people have to make choices, you know. I would love to see more golf courses opening up. I would love to see more impact with respect to golf tourism because it's a huge money earner for Jamaica. Golfers in general, when they go wherever they go, they spend probably 3 times what an average tourist visitor would spend. And so that is money into the Jamaican economy. So I would love to see that moving forward.
A series of activities have been planned to commemorate the milestone.
We want to do 3 clinics for the rest of the year, every quarter, a grow the game sort of clinic for juniors and adults. So that will start next quarter, so more information will come out. We're going to have our annual fundraiser June 21st at Constant Spring. We are going to also be working with Manchester Club because they celebrate an anniversary as well. And then we have our dinner, our Grand Gala dinner in August. And then the Jamaica Open, which is our big professional and amateur event in November.
not many high school students are aware of golf scholarships and their availability.
I don't think as much. I think we need to maybe go through Ministry of Education to kind of get that information out. And then, of course, the media, we would love you guys to also promote that information because golf is a big sport worldwide.
Yeah.
It's not just the states that are offering scholarships, it's worldwide. A lot of our junior golfers actually have access and are playing abroad. Scholarships are there once you have the grades and you show the golfing acumen.
Angela Melville, CVM Sports.
Work on the National Stadium's running track is nearly complete, and for Sports Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange, it's a moment to reflect on the progress made despite several challenges.
Nearly 14 years ago, I had the duty and the pleasure to lead the installation and to open the new running track at the National Stadium. But the latest assessment has shown the urgent need to completely resurface the track.